Marcus, you sit here having played 30 odd games in the Championship this season, but that wasn't the plan in the summer, was it?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I always knew it was going to be a tough season ahead when Felix was in charge. And at the time there was still Stocko and Stakia and Jesse as well. So, I mean, my original plan was for me to be getting out back on loan, hopefully to a League One club, and try and have a full season ahead of me again there, like I did previous season at League Two. But I mean, I can't really sum up this season for me. It's been a bunch of mixed emotions, but it's been an incredible season, which one that I wasn't really expecting at all.
So you must be pleased with how it's gone. I know some of the results haven't been what we wanted, but for you personally, you must be delighted.
Yeah, no, I am delighted. Like I said, I was never expecting this. And I'm hugely grateful for the opportunity that I've had this season. And I've managed to take it and sort of cement my place.
How does the Championship compare with League Two?
It is a little bit different. There's some teams that do play quite similar football, quite sort of route one and quite direct, which is probably a lot of teams in League Two. Because the pitches ain't the greatest, but there's some quality players in this league. Especially at the top level, and especially here with us as well. We've got some great players. So it's a tough league.
And what have you learned about yourself this season?
I mean, I always knew I was ready to step in. I think Martin Brennan, my goalkeeping coach, would say the first as well to say that I would always been ready to step in. But what you can't sort of prepare yourself for is sort of the crowd, just sort of the momentum of the game, like the sort of size of the game. And that's the difference really between League Two and Championship. The size of the game is a lot bigger. A lot more counts, a lot more pressure. The fans. So I mean that was probably something that I found out this season about myself and in the league and handling that. And I think I've handled it pretty well.
You've mentioned a couple of saves that you've enjoyed that you've made this season. We've picked out, I think, 5 or 6. So we're just going to go through them now, and you can talk us through them.
Okay, cool. So this is my technically this is my first save for Fulham. This was on my debut for the club, and it was in the cup against Brentford. This was the game Felix played to me. We actually won that game 1-0. Kept a clean sheet, and that was something special on my debut. It was a tough period that we was going through at the time with the manager, and he gave me my debut. It was a great game and probably technically my first save at Fulham. So it's
and a good save as well.
Yeah, it was a good save. Quick free kick that we got caught out by. And managed to stand up well and make a good save.
Okay, next one.
Yeah, this is my penalty save against Doncaster, which was also in the cup. I think we won this one. Was it 2-1? Or it might have been 3-2.
2-1, I think.
2-1. Yeah. The penalty was quite late on. It probably wasn't the greatest penalty, to be fair to the lad, but I got down well, made a save, and it was an important save for me. And it was important for the lads as well.
Right, next one, St Andrews away.
Yeah, this is a weird one. Really, I don't think many people will remember it. But this was actually our first win on the kit, our first win in the league. It was against Birmingham away, and we went 1-0 down, and we came back 2-1 in the second half, and it was at 1-1 at this point in this save. And it was an important save to keep us in the game at the time. It's probably not one that I'll look back on in a few years' time, but this season it was a vital save because we went on to win the game, and that was really important for us to get that first win.
Another Brentford game. You were immense in this game, but we ended up on the losing side.
Yeah, that's another save there. I think there's two. I think this one is probably. You probably make 1 or 2 of these saves a season where you sort of gamble and luck's in your favour, and it sort of hit me as I've dived, and it was nice that it was on Sky. It is really unfortunate that we ended up losing this 2-1 really late on from a deflection as well, which we've had quite a few of these this season. It was lovely for me that performance because it was on Sky, and I got quite a lot of recognition for it and that. But once again, it was quite disappointing that we never got any points out of that game. Most Fulham fans will like this save because it was against Darren Bent. We won 2-1. Bentley did score, actually, another deflection. But I remember the fans that day. They were pretty special behind the goal. And it was quite a cagey game, actually. But yeah, Bentley came through 1-on-1 and just sort of stood up well. And I knew how much the Fulham fans didn't want him to score, so that was in the back of my mind.
Now Watford, a mixed night for you. Made a brilliant save to start with.
Yeah,
this free kick. I think you picked this one out as one of your favourites.
Yeah, this is my best. This would be my best save. This will be my best save of the season for me. The night wasn't a great night for me, and it wasn't a great night for the team. But I think Gabs and Martin would agree. That was probably my best save of the season, to move my feet quick and get across the goal. So
this is Wolves FA Cup third round at the Cottage. Tipped a shot onto the post, and thankfully Leon Clark put the rebound wide. But a great save.
Yeah, it come through quite a few players, and thankfully sometimes your luck's with you. I made a save, it rebounded off the post, and the lads missed a sitter. Thankfully for that, we got through sort of to the next round just with Wolves as well, for a cup replay. We played really well away at Wolves. Tough conditions in the snow, and we managed to get their win.
We picked this one out as well in the same game. Header tipped over the bar.
Yeah, I'd probably say that one's for the cameras. That one, I think. It's just a sort of routine save, one that I had to make. Important, but still routine.
And in the same game.
Yeah, I remember this was quite late on. I think Hutchie was thanking me after the game for that. I think it was a misplaced pass, and the lad was running through 1-on-1, and like I said again, not so much of a gamble, but I sort of had a feeling he was going that side, and I managed to get my hand out to it and push it wide.
And then this was in the replay before the snow started falling.
Yeah, this was pretty early on. It was pretty early on. It was quite a cagey first 10 minutes, and they sort of got the first chance of the game. And then Woodrow made a great header, and we scored some great goals that night. And we showed some really good fight and really sort of determination to win that game. And, like I said, it was tough conditions. It was a good save early on.
Next one, Nottingham Forest at the Cottage.
Yeah,
leading marksman.
Yeah, yeah. I think Costas got his hand up there, sort of apologising, but that's what I'm there for. And I'm sure the lads have backed me out a few times, and I've sort of made a mistake. And Costas has been on the line numerous of times this season, so thankfully I was there for him when he needed me.
And Sunderland in the Cup, Premier League opposition. I think it's the save from Jermaine Defoe, England international.
Yep.
On his debut.
Yeah,
just scooped it away.
Yeah, I mean it was an unorthodox save, but it was one that had to be made. We played actually really well away at Sunderland. Passed the ball really well. Wasn't the greatest night for me on the return back to the Cottage, but no, it was an important save for us to get the draw. We was unlucky on the night not to get the win at Sunderland.
This was Bournemouth again, a disappointing night for the team, but a cracking save early on from you.
Yeah, this was also really early on, first 10 minutes. I think that's probably up there with my free kick save. Thankfully that was on Sky as well. It wasn't a good night for us, but like I said, it was a good save early on to keep it 0-0. Just a shame we couldn't progress on that and do something about the game.